Welcome to this version of Me and My History. I've already done one version, however the microphones were plugged into my ears, so you might be able to listen to it if you turn it up all the way. I didn't know that, these wouldn't work. I mean, there's the microphone, it just wasn't on. Okay, so Me and My History in a nutshell. Okay, I have this map of the U.S. I am from, I live here, but I am from Scottsdale, Arizona. Let's see, and then Vancouver, Washington, which I lived in for a while. I consider Washington my homeland. And then we moved to Ridgefield, and then to Tacoma. Ridgefield, and then we moved to Orem, Utah, which is the right below Salt Lake, kind of. It's over a hill. And then we moved to Grantsville, Utah, which is the scariest little Mormon town you ever did live in or see. Just don't go there. And then we have we moved back up to Vancouver, and then to Tacoma, and then to Boise, which we currently now live. About me. Well, let's see. I have a bit of medical history that I might want to share with you. Let's see, I was hit and run over by a car when I was 18 months old, just a toddler. So I've grown up with health problems, and I've been accident prone. Be professional. Okay. Sorry, it's late. When we moved to Orem, me and a friend were on a seesaw, and there was this big dragonfly that flew up in between us, and she bailed, and the seesaw came down and crushed my leg. Oh yeah, I forgot. That's what I meant to say. So you can't really see it. See the white mark that parts my hair? Yeah, that is my open brain injury. That's where the headlight hit, and they had to debride part of my brain and piece it back together again. So that's why I really need this communications course, because, well, I have a brain injury and I'm blonde, so you'll have to forgive me. Also, the tire ran over the leg and stretched the sciatic nerve from the base of the spine, which means the leg was paralyzed. So when I got into that seesaw accident, I didn't know that when the seesaw came down, my knee was crushed. They trapped some pins, some pins in my knee, and they worked their way out the other side. So every elementary school year, they would go in and then when I was 12, they made this video for me. At the last video, I did a lot better. I'm sorry there's no sound. I had an old brace doctor that worked at Shriners of Portland. He created a prosthetic for me, much like this one. That kind of gave it away, didn't it? Anyways, he filmed me side by side wearing the prosthetic and wearing the full leg brace. And I walked better with the prosthetic, and so I said that they could go ahead and amputate since they really couldn't put it back together again anymore. Well, then when we moved here, I knelt on a knife and I got staph infection. Most of my high school was spent in and out of hospitals. I had more surgeries during my high school years than I did my childhood life. I fell into depression, and the infection just kept getting worse. And so they did a bone scan of the knee, and they found out it was completely black with infection. I had osteomyelitis, which is now dormant in my hip. So they kept taking more and more off the leg. At that point, I didn't know whether I was going to live or die, and I didn't really care. If it weren't for the church, they pretty much saved me every time I fell into depression. When I fell into septic shock just in the time frame of my staph infection, it was a wake-up call that, God wanted me on this earth, and I still don't know why. I started to get back on my feet again, and then we lost our mother. And around that time, my anime friends, they turned around and started taking me to conventions, showing me how to produce things, how to make costumes, how to film the plays, how to be in the plays. It was a great media experience, and it helped me come out of my shell a bit. But then we lost our home of 20 years here, and I fell back into depression. That's when the Young Single Adult Stake found me. They invited me to family home evening every Monday. They invited me to Munch and Mingle. Did you know they had dinner at church? Why doesn't the family ward do something like that? For the people that, their families don't have dinner till midnight, which we don't. Sometimes. We're getting back on the school schedule. It's just... Anyhow, then I found the Boise Institute, and I learned more about the scriptures there than I had ever learned in my whole life. I was able to get more than that. A lot of different BYU credits and a lot of different classes because a lot of different teachers helped me and help me stick with it. And so by the end of the semester, they invited me to try Academic Start and the Pathway program. That got me into BYU Idaho. And now I'm registered for online classes through BYU Idaho, I mean. But, yeah, that's me. Okay, who do I have an interpersonal relationship with? My baby sister and our bird. And when you live at home, you can't help but have a relationship with everybody that lives there. However, when you live at home, most of the time you have to blurt out everything you need to say in order for others to understand it. And there's no listening, really. So I really need to learn how to listen and think and say before I say it. Let's see. excuse me. School questions. Let's see here. The places that I've had a chance to give public speeches, I did so at an anime convention back in 2004 when we won an award for Best Cosplay. I was in that cosplay, and, well, I just wanted my little sister to see. And so I'm like, everybody please give her a hand because this is her first play. She was 9 years old. Well, 12 years old, sorry. I really suck at public speeches unless they're previously scripted and the Holy Spirit tells me what to do. I work at Rocky Mountain Audiovisual, who, well, basically we set up for special events, which are a pain, and we set up the microphones and stuff, and pretty soon I'll be able to learn how to run those. I can't wait for it. But there are a lot of people he's hired, so I was patient enough to be hired, and now I am. And so I am just going to wait until he is able to graduate some people and then train me, hopefully. Anyways, I love being behind the camera, not in front of it. I love setting up the audio and the video quality. So it's taken me a long time to get this done. And now hopefully I've worked out all the flaws. Anyways, I don't know how to end this. Do we bear our testimonies, or I just know that if it weren't for the church, I probably wouldn't be here. I know that this church is true because I have friends who grew up in the church and they still have testimonies. So, please help me in this class. I'm sorry this video is so long. I wanted to do a shorter one. I wanted to work through trial and error, but I just didn't have time. Maybe I'll be able to post a shorter one, so maybe, hopefully, this video works out. But after, okay, the Boise Institute got me into the Pathway. I miss being able to be with the class, to meet with the class once a week. And I hope you'll all help me get through the nervousness of the camera, and because I love talking to people. And I love meeting people. I love giving them a smile. And saying hi to everyone. That's why I kind of tried to leave a post on everybody's video. I'm just sorry I couldn't see all of them. Anyways, it's a pleasure to meet you all. I wish you could have seen Sunny. She's our bird, and she's our best friend. She helps us through a lot of stress. Anyways, thank you all, and bye.